innate well-being, we never really stop. Whether it is learning about a certain topic in great depth or just hearing something you didn't know in a quiz show, we never really stop learning. This will to learn comes from passion and curiosity, as well as a critical and reflective mindset, and getting learners to be ambitious about their subject and their future. This is the very basis of my teaching philosophy. Inspiring learners is not always an easy task, as it relies on the teacher to not only impart their knowledge on the learners, but also make the subject interesting enough so that they'll pay attention. You're not so overstimulating that the lesson is lost through overcommunication. This presents several difficulties, as the teacher needs to know how the learners will react to the lesson plan, but also keep up with current culture to ensure that the methods of imparting knowledge is not regarded as old and therefore not of value. The teacher also needs to keep updated with the latest educational theories, whilst also knowing what works from previous decades. As such, knowledge must be viewed on different levels that are constantly being attained. Furthermore, inspiring learners relies on a level of trust and confidence in the teacher. This can be achieved by encouraging learners through positive praise as well as constructive criticism. This is given not to dishearten the students, but to encourage them to try and attain a higher level of comprehension than they already have. Although it is important to use praise fairly and ensure that learners are growing and progressing, rather than simply giving out praise when not needed, as this, it could be argued, could give a learner a conflated sense of self, without the ability to be emotionally resistant or, more importantly, self-reflective, which we'll get onto later. This would be one of the more important aims of my teaching philosophy, not only to encourage and facilitate learning in my own subject specialism, but to also encourage and cultivate personal traits that will serve the learner well in their adult lives. Another important aspect of encouraging passion for learning is to encourage the learners to have a sense of ownership over their work. This allows for a learner to be proud of their own work, as when any person takes personal pride in their work, the quality of their work invariably improves. This effect is of particular importance for students, as when learners are not interested, their work may not be up to markable standards, or may not be completed at all sometimes. To give the learners ownership over their work, I would seek to give them a more creative control, with guidance from me if I think it's required, or if I think their work can be improved by asking pertinent questions, or if they need a fresh perspective. This can be quite a risky strategy, and as such, will be introduced to the learners slowly, so not to give them too much information too quickly, or make them feel like they're being abandoned, and I'm simply there letting them do their own thing. However, despite this, I believe this will be an effective strategy when trying to get learners interested and passionate about the subject specialism, as well as passionate about learning in general.